Hi, I'm Abbey Wade with Everyday Champagne, and I'm here with my friend Steve. Say hi, Steve.
Hi there.
Steve has a problem. What's your problem, Steve?
Every time I try to make a pizza at home, it's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
And it's a disaster because of the dough. I don't know how to do the dough. I don't know how to get it rolled out, get it, how long you need to knead it.
All right, you're just dough confused. You are dough confused.
I'm dough confused. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna help you. Okay, so do you make your dough or do you buy it? There's no shame, just asking.
We've done both.
Okay.
We've bought, yeah, we've done both.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're gonna make it from start to finish.
Okay.
All right, so that way you know, and if you know, if you ever want to make it again, I'll send you home with the recipe. Great. Okay, you ever worked with yeast before?
Not really.
Okay, all right, not a problem. We need hot water for that, and we'll let that go a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna do all the work. All right, so in this bowl here, we need 1 tablespoon of yeast. This is like this kind of stuff. You see active dry yeast, little granules of it. That's the easiest yeast to find in the grocery stores. That's not a full tablespoon. That was a scant tablespoon. Make it level. That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Good. Awesome. Yeah. Right. All right. And then we're gonna need a teaspoon of sugar. Do you want to know why we need sugar and yeast together? You want to know?
I do actually. Yes.
Yeast feeds off of the sugar. You know what the teaspoon? Yeah. Teaspoon. It feeds off of the sugar, and it needs a warm atmosphere to come alive. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix. If you just put the water in with the yeast, not a whole lot will happen. The yeast is like a vampire, preys on the sugar.
All right.
All right, let's pour that in there. All right, so that's 3/4 cup of warm water. You can go ahead and pour that in to the yeast and the sugar. In warm water, like about 105 to 110 degrees, but honestly, who's gonna check their temperature? Really, all you wanna know is it's like bath water. You want it to feel really, really warm, but not so hot that it's gonna burn you. I'm gonna make you stir that with your finger.
Is it gonna burn me?
No, it shouldn't. Well, we did it wrong. It should be really, really warm.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It is.
Okay. And then all you can do is mix that up until everything dissolves. And then we wait 5 minutes, and it will foam and froth, and it will come alive and bubble. And that's how we know we're ready to go on with the next process. So in this bowl, we're gonna do our dry ingredients. I'm gonna make you do it. Yeah?
Let's do it.
We're making a whole wheat pizza crust, because I think anytime you can add something a little bit more healthy, it's good. But I cut it with some regular white flour, because if you use too much whole wheat flour, the texture isn't all that great. It's a little bit too gritty, because wheat flour does not have as much gluten as white flour does.
Tell me what to do.
All right, 3/4 cup of whole wheat flour, which is that guy right there.
So I just go in?
You can just go in, yeah.
All right.
I know, it's tight quarters in there. Yep, and then I'll measure you, I'll level you off. Oh, look.
Wrong way, wrong way.
That's right. You're not having fun unless you're making a mess in the kitchen. All right. Yeah, this is tough. All right, so that goes in here.
Okay.
And then we need 1½ cups of the white flour, which is this guy here.
All right.
Oh, that's not gonna happen.
Is that, won't fit in there?
No,
Yeah.
let's see. Here. You know what? Because 1½ cups, we're gonna go a half. There's some math here. All right, how many half cups do we need to make 1½ cups? We got 1/2 cup.
That would be 3. That would be 3.
Yay! Your prize is pizza dough. I just took your job away from you.
I know, I didn't realize that. That's all right.
All right, that's our flours. And this is gluten. This is, have you ever actually seen gluten by itself? That's what it is.
I've never.
It's just looks like flour. You can smell it if you want. It doesn't really smell like much. But gluten is a protein that's found in wheat. And the reason why I use gluten with white flour is you can buy bread flour, which means there's a lot of gluten or extra gluten added into it. Because bread flour with a lot of gluten is better for making bread, because you want a lot of gluten when you're making bread. But that's sort of expensive. And so my trick is to buy regular unbleached all-purpose white flour and then buy the gluten separately. and then mix it together, and then you're saving money.
I like it.
Right? Okay. So 1.5 teaspoons of gluten. The idea behind how much gluten you add is it's a teaspoon per cup of flour. So we had 1.5 cups of flour. We need 1.5 teaspoons of gluten.
It's easy enough.
Right. I think so.
How do you level this off? With your finger?
Yeah.
Go right in
Just
there.
do it. Nice. And then 1/2, and you don't have to, I mean, like, just 1/2 of it is fine. You don't have to be that specific. Like, it's about 1/2.
Thanks for catching me there.
All right, then we're gonna need salt. And we're gonna need a teaspoon of salt. This is kosher salt. Look at you, you're a pro. That's right, and then from here, we're just mixing this together, and then after this, when our yeast mixture is done, we're gonna add that to this, and then we'll have dough.
Great.
All right, we're gonna do 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just gonna add it right in here. See all those air bubbles? Because the magic happened. All right, then from there, all that happens is this, carefully, because this got really excited. Just mixes in there. That's your wet into your dry. Want to mix? Just take the fork from here.
And just...
Yeah, just mix it in. I'll make you get your hands dirty in a minute, but for now I'll let you use the fork. Because really all you're doing is mixing in and incorporating the wet into the dry ingredients until it gets to be what we call a shaggy dough. And that just means it's all come together, but it's not, the gluten hasn't been formed yet. All right, so we got all the dough mixed together, and now, like you can, oh, you're gonna get your hands dirty now. That's what's happening. All right, here. So you feel how it's pretty sticky. Like it's not, it can be pulled apart. It's not like Play-Doh, it's not one cohesive mess because the glutens have not been fully developed, which is we're gonna do that by kneading. So I'm gonna teach you how to knead. All right, so essentially you take your big old ball of dough and then you're pulling it over on top of itself. And then that's all that it is, and you're kind of doing that over and over and over again. And here, you get in here.
So there's no need to add any additional flour?
No, and I mean, if it's at the point, it depends on the humidity, it depends on the temperature of the day. This could be super duper sticky because maybe it's really humid that day, in which case, and you would know it by feel, this is why we're doing it by hand. If it felt like it was just sticking everywhere, then you would add maybe a little bit of
Okay, so
flour.
if it gets really sticky, maybe add some.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean, a little bit of stick is fine, like that's okay. But if it was just completely...
And that's the problem I've run into, is it gets all over my hands. And
that's no good. Then that's when you would need a little bit of flour, and that's fine. A little bit of flour is always fine. Look at you, you're doing so good. You really are, you're doing great. And so the idea is that, you could be doing this for, it could take several minutes, but you'll know it by feel. And
what's that feel that I'm looking?
The feel is that it's maybe still a little bit tacky is okay, but it is and it's not there yet, but it's a complete round ball that is more firm, and it doesn't have all the little tears that's happening right now.
All right.
And so you see how it's getting, you can tell that something's happening, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. All right, so it only, how long did that take you? It didn't really take you, but like maybe 3 minutes, right?
3 minutes, 5 minutes, yeah.
And you can tell the difference because it's just like it looks smooth, like springy, spank it. And then from there, you're gonna oil a bowl. This is that extra virgin olive oil that we used in the dough. And then you just put it in here, you kind of push it around a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why you grease it is because you don't want it to, it's going to rise, and if you don't put any oil in there, it's going to stick to the sides, and then it'll deflate. So you want to create a nice environment for it to rise and not stick to the sides too much.
It's all right.
set this aside in a fairly warm place. It doesn't need to be super duper hot for probably a couple hours, and then it will double in size. It's been a couple hours, and it has risen. It has risen, and it about doubled in size. That's kind of cool, right? Now from here, you get to punch it down, like literally just, I mean, don't, it's a glass bowl, so don't go crazy.
I like that you think I can punch through a glass bowl. I appreciate that.
You're just gonna deflate it. Don't be scared. Yes.
Just like that.
It's fun, right?
Look at that.
That's awesome. And from here, it will rise again. You gotta have 2 rises. If you were to just do 1 rise, the texture would still be a little, you need that, are you Gracie? Would not be as chewy as you want. Because I've done it before. I've tried to just get away with 1 rise and it just doesn't work. So then, just like we did before, then that's all you gotta do. So now this guy goes back and it rises again for about 2 more hours, and it will again double in size. And then after that, we get to roll. You
Great.
Punched it down masterfully, so might I add.
Thank you.
And then it rose again, and look, plain old roll it now. So.
All right.
So just plop it down. All right. Yep. And like I said, I mean, some people get out a rolling pin, they roll it out, but I just don't like that. I think that it makes it a little bit tough. So really, all you're doing is just kind of stretching it out. You could pull it up, and you could go like this. And because we did so well with our pizza dough in the beginning, a little bit of tear, like that's okay. You can push it back together again. But you're really just kind of stretching it out to the shape that you need. Yeah, just mend any holes that come up. It doesn't have to be round. Like, I think a lot of people think it has to be a perfect circle because they see that in their delivery box. And I actually like it better when it's a little wonky. That's my favorite word.
Wonky. It's got more character when you do it that way.
Wonky has more character. Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of fun. And then from there, I mean, that's like you did
it already feels more durable than what I end up with.
Yeah.
When I get to this point.
Because you said you just had a problem with getting it out to this point. Like, was it springing back, or was it breaking?
It's so sticky, you know, obviously I haven't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, you know, if it felt like it was too sticky, then when you were kneading it before, you know that you could have added some more flour, and that would have prevented the sticking.
Keep going longer.
Yep, yep. Longer kneading would help produce the glutens and make it, making it a more chewy dough. And then from here, you would just add your toppings and bake it as usual. So that's it.
Great.
Did I solve your problem?
I think you did.
I did?
Yeah.
Yay!
Thank you.
Oil high five.
Oil high five.
All right. Yay. Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me. Cheers.
Cheers. Hold on.
No, don't drop it.
Don't want to drop it. All right. Thanks again. So that's
You can feel a difference.
You can feel a difference, yeah. So that's all you're doing. You're going to do that for how long? I'm just going to let you do that for. Go ahead. I'm going to drink my beer. I'm going to watch you knead for a while. I need to watch you knead for a while.
Dojo number 1.
Only the first one?
I feel like that was only the
God,
first
we're
one.
awful. We've only done 1 dough joke. Okay.
It's alright. I don't normally do this.
No, clearly this is not your forte.
No. Alright. I'm professional.
I'm doing it, aren't I? No?
I'm not sure. You're talking a lot. Maybe I should do some of the talking. You think I should?
Take over.
No.
Record. We are recording.